Scammers are getting creative when it comes to trying to take your hard-earned money and your personal information. A scam that's gaining traction promises consumers job opportunities, which experts say are just too good to be true.
Alyssa Thurlow joins us now with more on how to spot this type of scam and what we can do to avoid them.
Has your phone been blown up lately with texts offering job offers? I personally have received 2 this week. Check this one out. This is a text from what appears to be a representative from the Amazon recruiting team claiming they have a position available helping Amazon brands increase product visibility. They claim to offer flexible working hours, about 1 hour per day, a daily salary of $200 to $600, free training, and 15 to 20 days of paid annual leave. Maybe you've received this text. It's from someone who claims to be a recruitment specialist from Indeed, offering a remote part-time job. This also claims to offer excellent pay and benefits. If interested, it says just text yes to the number provided. These sound like good opportunities, right? Well, experts at the Better Business Bureau say they have received thousands of reports of these types of scams involving text messages from a fake recruiting agency spoofing a real company's name. Their goal is to get your personal information or money, ultimately leading to identity theft.
Immediate job offers without an interview, that's a huge red flag. Unrealistic pay for work-at-home jobs, you have to take that into account and realize that that's a red flag.
Most importantly, you should never give out any personal or financial information like your social security number over the phone.
I understand that people are in need of a job and that there is urgency and there's an emotional response based on that. These scammers take advantage of that, and I don't want to see people out money in ultimately their time, because if you are a victim of identity theft, it can take days, if not weeks, to turn that around.
Indeed says they never reach out to job seekers to offer employment through phone calls or text messages. If you get these types of messages, they say it's a scam. As for Amazon, the company says they do communicate to customers through text messages, but only for order updates, security alerts, or one-time passwords. They never include links. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you have experienced an employment scam, you should report it to the Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker. We have a link to that on our website. Reporting in studio, Alyssa Thurlow, WABC.